Hello, welcome to this video about sorting and classifying. I've used a visualizer to do this. You see I've cut two circles. I've actually used bits of a plate. So I start off in how I would do this with reception children. Just perhaps sorting by basic colours. You could do things like sorting wild and farm animals at the end when you're at tidy up time, something like that. Bear in mind that the idea of sorting and classifying is to use the properties of the objects to sort them. So here you can see we've just got two hoops and we're sorting white and yellow, and if they're not white or yellow they go outside of the hoops. So I've just raided my son's Connects collection. There we go. Now I'm going to sort using a different property. So I've decided to do straight edges and curved edges. I know that looks like a sad face, but yeah, anyway. So here we go. We're looking at whether it's straight or whether it is curved. There we go, that bit's curved. You can turn it round so it goes in here. Another bit with straight edges, so that goes over there. And yet another straight piece of Connects. Now let's have a look at this one. This one seems to have a curved edge and a straight edge. So where do I put it? I'm just going to leave it there for the moment. Another piece with straight and two straight edges and a curved edge. Can't work out where to put that. What can I do? What about if I move them together? See, this is exactly what I would do with children in early years. I would talk all the way through this. Now I've got straight edge in that side, a curved edge in that side, so it has both, so it goes in the middle. And again, straight, doesn't matter how many straight edges, how many curved, still got straight edge and a curved edge, so I'm going to pop it in the middle. And finally, the same with this last piece of Connects. Now I'm just going to write a label explaining what that bit in the middle is. Just you might do this just to show the children more clearly using words what that bit in the middle stands for. So they are straight and curved. They have straight and curved edges. Obviously you can sort anything. I mean, here I've got a collection of buttons, so I'm going to look if they've got 2 holes or if they are pink. That one I think has 4 holes. It's going on the outside. A pink one. It has 2. It's pink, but it has 4 holes, that one. So that one has 4 holes. It goes outside. Tiny, teeny button there. Pink with 2 holes, so we pop it in the middle. Again, 2 holes, but it's not pink, so it goes in there. Nice and straightforward, but just by using household objects, your children can get to practice these before they have to do it with more abstract things. Lovely links with maths and other wider curriculum. And then we can move on to thinking about a sorting key diagram. So I'm going to take you through, it's that same set of buttons, and essentially a sorting key diagram divides each pile every time into 2 groups. You need a nice closed question. The answer is yes or no. So as you can see, I've split these into 2 groups. And then I'm going to look at the next group, one of those individual groups, and I'm going to keep splitting into 2 groups. I'm going to have a quick closer look at that one just to see what it's made of. So my question this time might be about fabric. Now what I would say is, if you're doing this with children, they're only allowed to use the colour question once, otherwise you'll get, is it pink, is it purple, and that will just really, they won't be looking at the other properties. This allows them to look far more at the other properties of the objects that they are sorting. So it doesn't matter, you could keep going down one side. I've just come over to the other side just because that's where I fancy going, really. Doesn't really matter. So I'm looking to end up, so like with the green one there is now there is 1 with a yes. That's what I'm looking to end up with, is all the way down at the bottom of the tree, because this is sometimes called a tree diagram. As you can see, the branches are branching out. It's called a branching tree diagram. If you're going to get really posh about it, it's called a dichotomous key. Dichotomous just means splitting into 2 each time. I've done exactly this exercise with year 6 because they hadn't really practiced making them before, and we've used things like Mr. Men and other things before we actually starting with a concrete. It's a bit like in the maths and your concrete pictorial abstract. If you start with something concrete, it makes the abstract much easier to understand. So I would probably do concrete into pictorial and then into abstract in the same way that you would do with maths. And the idea is by the end of year 6, they should be able to create one of these actually with very little support. And you can use this to sort material, to sort animals, to sort properties of different materials. So is it waterproof, is it not? Lots of different ways you could use this. You may have seen these used in real life to do with leaves on trees, identifying which tree they are, starting with the leaf. I've just had to move my camera there. I didn't give myself quite enough space with the visualizer. Coming down, so I need a final question to divide those two, and I've just realised that one is shiny and one is matte. I would do it in exactly the same way at school, using post-it notes. This enables them, and if the children make mistakes, they can very quickly replace it with a better question. Here I'm left with a pink one and a purple one, both fairly small. I would try and get the children to avoid sizes, because unless they're very good at visualising sizes or they're actually going to measure it, it's quite hard. Is it small? Is it big? Well, what does small mean? What does big mean? I think I'm going to use the colour question. So, is it pink? Yes. No. There we go. I've sorted all of my buttons. I've got one button by each yes. So my tree diagram is complete. What I could do now, and I'd what to do with children, is I would get them to take all the buttons off, put them at the top. The children move around the class and try everyone else's diagram out. Does it work? Can they end up with the same sort of answers? Because that's how you really know it works. Can you actually separate that group of objects?